There's not too many doors left in the flat. Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3.
But Matt is more worried about this door than any of the others, and for good reason.
Yeah, so,
Matt Cutler from Cutler's Property Management is off to inspect 2 recently vacated student flats, or what's left of them.
Boys have played up quite a bit this year.
The flats are located at opposite ends of Castle Street, one of Dunedin's main student drags. Both properties were occupied by 2 separate groups of male students, who all seem to be majoring in the same subject:
Open window on the door.
architectural deconstruction.
There's not too many doors left in the flat, so yeah, we've got a bit of work to do in terms of replacing doors here. Seems they've kicked a few in over the time. I don't know how much privacy these guys had all year in their rooms.
Matt needs to get the properties back in rentable condition in time for next year's batch of students.
Another one gone. Fairly similar job to the one over there. This one they've just ripped out completely.
Luckily, the fridge door is still attached, but Matt is more worried about this door than any of the others, and for good reason.
Power's off, so here's the moment of truth. I'm doubting, I imagine there's going to be some food in here. Yep. Yeah, so we'll get cleaners in here sooner rather than later for that too, because that's only going to get worse.
Exploring the flat is like picking over the grisly remains of a once flourishing civilization.
New thing that seems to happen is a bit of graffiti around.
That's seen its fair share of ups and downs.
And they've obviously kicked this wall in here as well.
Matt has a sizable amount of bond money to cover any costs and repairs. Already, the flatmates are unlikely to see much, if any, of that bond money back.
Well, this room has a door, but they've done a good job on that one too, so we'll probably have to replace that. I mean, the bond just goes to the trade industry as opposed to the alcohol industry, I suppose.
In an effort to remain fiscally flush, someone's had a go at doing repairs themselves, with less than flush results.
They've tried to fix up these walls, done a real good job of it, obviously. So we'll have to get rid of all of this and jib it up properly.
Repairing the doors and walls will be a major job, but that's just the start.
Main issue, I think, with the whole place, though, is the carpet. And I think that that's going to have to get replaced.
And as for the exterior...
Right, now to the outside. Well, we've got a bit of rubbish down here. Now, unfortunately, there's probably a lot been thrown over back and forth, but it's not, compared to everything else, it's not too bad, so we'll just get that done.
It's already shaping up to be a big job, requiring cleaners, tradies and gardeners. And there's still the second flat to look at.
On to the next one.
The second flat on Matt's list is at the other end of the street, and its recent history is eerily similar to the first one.
Genuine guy's flat, so we'll just check to see how much we actually have to get done. Right, solid start. We'll be getting rid of that in the next couple of days before the rats get into it.
A group of male students inhabited this flat too. Although they've kept the fridge running, they too have left behind a trail of filth and fury in their wake.
Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, door number 4, door number 5. Yeah, she's telling you now. Oh, it's not the dirtiest bathroom I've ever seen, but we've got door number 6, door number 7.
Like the flat down the road, the carpet here will need to be replaced, as well as 7 out of the 10 doors.
So that oven door has been smashed in, the glass is off here.
Make that 8, including the oven door.
2 groups of flats on Castle Street. Funny similarities, obviously. Neither of them seem to care about doors too much. Carpet in the lounge is buggered. Yeah, at least the joiners are getting a bit of work to do with all the doors that need to be made at the moment.
3 weeks later, and only days before a new bunch of students arrive, Matt's off to see what progress has been made.
We repainted this whole room. Carpet in here was obviously disgusting, needed to replace, so we've replaced it with a dark coloured carpet, so might not be aesthetically pleasing to some people, but it's practical and, you know, more longevity so the stains don't show up as much. Right, so, yeah, big improvement on the fridge. You can actually smell now. Last time we were gagging, basically, when we were in here.
The boys' plan to conduct their own repairs never came to fruition, and they haven't returned to pick up their mattresses either.
They were supposed to be back by now to grab it, but they haven't. So we'll probably put that into storage, and yeah, they won't get that back until they've paid for the storage area. Yeah, so brand new door in this room. Replace this door too.
Like all good student accommodation, the decor is Spartan and functional.
So not do the job, they block the light out, which is the main thing.
And the plywood lash up in this room has been replaced with a fresh, featureless wall.
Right, so yeah, they've relined this one properly as opposed to the ply that they put up originally, or the tenants did. So yeah, now that it's relined properly, stopped and painted, it's actually come up like a normal room should, much like the rest of the house, really.
Matt's hoping the fine craftsmanship sets a good example for future tenants.
By getting things up to a decent standard, again, the tenants will respect the place a bit better than what these guys have. You would be unlucky to get bad tenants 2 years in a row. So this isn't the norm. If this was the norm, I'd be going insane because I just wouldn't have enough tradespeople to be able to keep up with all the work that would have to be done.
The tradies have definitely been put through their paces at the second student flat on Matt's list, up the other end of the street.
These guys smashed up all the doors as well. I've had to get the lounge carpet replaced. We also got upstairs carpet replaced as well because there were some burn marks.
All up, 8 doors have been replaced, but having just been put up, it looks like some are already about to come back down again.
This door's been replaced too, but yeah, we'll need to rip that off and plane it because obviously the last carpet didn't have underlay, so this has raised it up a bit from when the doors were hung. Yeah, same again, might as well, if we're going to do them one, we might as well do them all.
The bond money from both flats will be enough to cover most of the repair costs, and both groups have agreed to make up the rest out of their own pockets.
They weren't terrible people. They're easy to have a conversation with, and they know that they've done something wrong, so by the time we take their bond and get the rest back, I can't imagine there'll be too much drama.
Matt's pleased with the results and optimistic about the new group of students about to move in.
The place has come up really good, and I expect it to be like this for a long time. We've got girls going in this year. Girls aren't perfect, but they're not going to be smashing in doors, and they generally leave the place a bit cleaner.